Hey there, history explorer. Ever wondered what happened in ancient Egypt when the pyramids stopped being built, the Nile flooded unpredictably, or foreign invaders swept through the land? Picture this: a time when pharaohs weren't just powerful rulers, but also survivors, trying to hold their kingdoms together amidst chaos. Welcome to the world of dynastic instability, a roller coaster of power struggles, forgotten rulers, and lost pharaohs. Let's dig into these turbulent times and uncover the stories of those who ruled when Egypt teetered on the brink of collapse. Before we dive into the drama, let's break it down. Ancient Egypt wasn't always the picture-perfect civilization of towering pyramids and golden treasures. Sure, there were glorious periods like the Old Kingdom, Middle Kingdom, and New Kingdom. But between these golden ages lay stretches of political turmoil, weak leadership, and fractured power. These chaotic interludes are known as intermediate periods, and they're where the lost pharaohs often emerge from the shadows. During these unstable times, centralized authority crumbled, leaving local governors, called nomarchs, to seize control. Foreign powers invaded, disrupting Egyptian culture and governance. Economic hardship and famine weakened the state further. Records became sparse, making it harder for historians to piece together who ruled and why. It's like watching a blockbuster movie where the main characters disappear and side characters step up to save or destroy the day. Intrigued? Let's meet some of these enigmatic figures. After the glory days of the Old Kingdom, home of the Great Pyramids, Egypt hit its first major speed bump, the First Intermediate Period, circa 2181-2055 BCE. This was a time of drought, famine, and political fragmentation. The once mighty central government collapsed, and regional leaders declared themselves kings. While many rulers of this era remain obscure, two key players stand out: Neferkare VII, or Neferkara. One of the last pharaohs of the 6th dynasty, his reign marked the beginning of the decline. Little is known about him beyond his name appearing briefly in records. Intef I, a ruler from Thebes, he began the 11th dynasty and laid the groundwork for reunification. Though not much survives about his rule, he paved the way for Mentuhotep II, who eventually restored order. This period reminds us that even the grandest civilizations can falter, and sometimes recovery requires patience and resilience. Fast forward to the Second Intermediate Period, circa 1650-1550 BCE, arguably one of Egypt's darkest chapters. During this time, the country split into three parts. The north fell under the control of the Hyksos, a group of foreign rulers from Western Asia. The south remained loyal to native Egyptian dynasties centered in Thebes. In between, various petty warlords vied for power. Here's where things get wild. Sobekotep IV. One of the most prominent pharaohs of the 13th dynasty, Sobekotep tried valiantly to maintain stability, but ultimately couldn't prevent the kingdom's disintegration. Apophis, a Hyksos king who ruled from Avaris in the Delta region. Though vilified by later Egyptians, Apepi introduced new technologies like the horse-drawn chariot, tools that would later help Egypt rise again. Sekenenre Tao, known as the Brave, this Theban ruler waged war against the Hyksos, dying heroically in battle. His mummy shows brutal head wounds, likely inflicted during combat. Amosa I, the ultimate savior. Amosa, Sekenenre's son, finally expelled the Hyksos and reunited Egypt, kicking off the mighty New Kingdom. This period teaches us that even in the face of invasion and division, determination can spark renewal. By the time the Third Intermediate Period rolled around, circa 1070-664 BCE, Egypt had grown weary. Internal strife, economic decline, and pressure from Libyans, Nubians, and Assyrians left the empire fragmented. For nearly 4 centuries, Egypt struggled to reclaim its former glory. This era saw a revolving door of rulers, many of whom have faded into obscurity. However, a few names shine through. Shoshenq, founder of the 22nd dynasty, Shoshenq united much of Egypt temporarily. He's also famous for his campaign against Judah, mentioned in the Bible. Pianki, a Nubian king who conquered Egypt and founded the 25th dynasty. Pa restored Ma'at, cosmic order, and revived traditional Egyptian practices. Taharqa, another Nubian ruler, Taharqa faced relentless attacks from Assyria. Despite his efforts, Egypt eventually fell under foreign domination. These rulers remind us that even outsiders could restore Egypt's greatness, if only briefly. So why do so many of these rulers end up forgotten? It comes down to a few factors. Sparse records. During unstable times, record-keeping often took a backseat to survival. Many pharaohs simply didn't leave behind enough evidence to be remembered. Destruction of monuments. Later rulers sometimes erased the names of predecessors they deemed unworthy, leaving gaps in the historical record. Focus on golden ages. Historians and archaeologists tend to focus on stable, prosperous periods, overshadowing the messy bits in between. But here's the thing. These lost pharaohs matter. They represent resilience in the face of adversity, creativity in solving problems, and humanity's ability to rebuild after collapse. The stories of these lesser-known rulers offer valuable lessons for today. Resilience matters. Even when everything seems to fall apart, small actions can lead to big changes. Think of Seqenenretau standing up to the Hyksos or Amos I fighting to reunite Egypt. Unity is fragile. Strong central governments aren't guaranteed. They require constant effort to maintain. History repeats itself. Just like modern nations experience booms and busts, ancient Egypt cycled through prosperity and decline. Understanding these patterns helps us navigate our own challenges. The lost pharaohs may not have built pyramids or led armies to legendary victories, but they played crucial roles in shaping Egypt's destiny. Their stories remind us that history isn't just about the winners. It's also about the strugglers, the survivors, and the unsung heroes who kept the flame alive in dark times. So, next time you think of ancient Egypt, don't just picture Ramses II or Cleopatra. Remember the forgotten kings and queens who fought to keep their world spinning, even when it seemed like it might fall apart? What do you think? Which of these mysterious rulers fascinates you the most? Let's chat. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to.